You know what? By the way, the Christians do not even believe like the Jews. The Jews do not believe in the Trinity. The Trinity is a later invention which came from the church 400 years after Jesus. The Jews do not believe in the Trinity. The Jews do not believe in the Trinity. In the Council of Nicaea and in the Council of Constantinople, which came 300 years, nearly 400 years after Jesus. Show me the Bible, the Trinity verse, other than the 1 John 5:7, which is an adulterated. Shahada. What does Shahada mean? What does Shahada mean? What does Shahada mean? You don't know the meaning, so don't tell me.
It's not a word.
I didn't ask you for the word, I said the concept. Show me the concept of Trinity. Go on. Go on, show me.
You don't understand the meaning of the religion.
I understand the meaning
The
of the religion.
basis of what I'm talking about is where...
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is you're possibly presenting it incorrectly.
The story of Adam and Eve comes from where? The Bible?
The one God, right? The one God. The religion of the one God.
No, actually, I agree with you. It came from the Old Testament. I'm not denying that. But you see, the Old Testament, hold on. The Old Testament doesn't only talk about the Jews. The Old Testament talks about the times before the Jews, which was Abraham, which was Noah, which was Adam, all the way to Adam. Let me finish.
Who created it?
Sorry?
Who created that story of Adam and Eve?
Oh, you mean who narrated it?
Where did you find
Okay,
the story?
then the Old Testament, the Old Testament, the Jewish Old Testament that you talk about is actually the first, from the Torah. The Torah is the first 5 books, plus is all the other laws and all the other books of the prophets and so on. And this was given to several prophets, like Moses. You have the Old Testaments like Jeremiah and all these prophets. We have Isaiah. We have all these other prophets.
They didn't get the book from the prophet that was given in Egypt.
No, Isaiah was a prophet. He was given this revelation, the book of Isaiah, which you call it, in the Old Testament.
The Jewish people received the Torah from Egypt.
From Moses. No, they received it from Moses.
No, what are you talking about? Moses received...
That's what I'm saying. We are agreeing. We are talking the same thing. No, he didn't just receive from Egypt. He received it from God. Moses received his revelation from God, not from Egypt.
That's what I mean.
Okay, you mean the location?
It was a miracle.
Okay.
It was a miracle in Egypt that Moses received the Old Testament.
I have no issue with that.
That's what I'm saying.
So what is the point you're making? But you're trying to say...
I said, where did he get the story?
No.
Where did he get
Okay,
the
so I know, I think I understand what you're trying to say now. So you're saying we got this oneness of God from the Old Testament. You know what? There were other books, other nations, which also believed...
Hold on, those
Can I finish?
didn't believe in one God. They believed...
Of course they did. Abraham believed in one God. Abraham believed in one God.
Any religion that believes...
You know when Abraham was there was no Old Testament. When Abraham came, there was no Old Testament. How did he believe in oneness of God then? Tell me.
Because God came.
I think she can manage to answer on her
The
own.
Old Testament was a miracle that God gave to Moses.
No, you didn't understand the question I asked you. Let me repeat the question. Moses was given the Old Testament and the other prophets after Moses. But Abraham existed before Moses. Do you agree? Abraham, you don't know that?
Yes,
Abraham. I don't agree with that.
So you don't know Abraham came before Moses?
That's what your religion says.
No, I don't believe it.
No, I'm talking historically. Historically, I'm not talking about the books now. Historically, do you agree that Abraham preceded Moses?
You don't know.
If you don't know, you can say I don't know.
The first 2 humans of the world were Adam and Eve.
Yeah, but I'm not asking about Adam and Eve. I'm asking about Abraham. Did Abraham precede Moses? If you don't know, you can say I don't know. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, I can tell you, and he'll agree with me, that Abraham came before Moses and Jesus and all the other Jewish prophets. So Abraham believed in the oneness of God without the Old Testament.
Adam and Eve were the first 2 humans of the
I
world.
agree. I agree.
You just contradicted.
No, I did
The
not.
first 2 humans.
I never said Abraham was the first human. I never said Abraham was the first human. I said Abraham preceded Moses, which means Abraham came before Moses.
Yes.
And if you read the history of the Bible or of Judaism, then you'll understand this. And Abraham was not a Jew, because the Jewish tribes came later on. The 12 tribes of Judah, the 12 tribes of Jesus, they came, Jacob, they came later on. So you need to understand this categorically, that when Abraham was there, we didn't have the Old Testament, because historically it came much later on. Okay, so don't say we are ignorant. We know these things. What do you mean it's not true? Which part is not true? Just because you don't know it makes it untrue?
There are 12 tribes of Israel in Egypt.
Yeah, they came later, after Abraham. You need to understand this. Don't just say it's not true because you don't know.
Israel started in Egypt and then moved to Israel.
Yeah, but I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that. I'm saying before the 12 tribes existed, Abraham existed. And Abraham believed in the oneness of God. It's in the Bible. He was given the covenant. By whom? By the God of Moses and the God of Jesus.
Moses received the Old Testament from God.
Yeah, you keep repeating yourself. I've already agreed with that. No, but I've repeated so many times now.
It's mentioned in the Torah, correct? In the book that came to Moses, is what you're saying. But Abraham preceded.
He came before.
Moses.
I don't know.
No, he did. Okay, well, we're telling you, check it. Adam came before, right? Adam came before, right?
Adam
The first
was
human.
the first.
Right, and he's mentioned in the Torah. Same like that, Noah and Abraham were prophets that came previously. They weren't after Moses, they were before Moses.
They don't call him prophets.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Are you right? Alhamdulillah. Finally.
Before them, but they were before. They were before.
No, it's all right. Jazakallah khair. Okay, so basically, I think you're getting two things mixed up. One is the Old Testament, which we know came with Moses. We don't deny that.
You're not getting messed up. I'm telling you what my religion says.
No, but it's not about the religion I'm talking about historically. Historically, you do not even understand if Moses came before or Abraham came before. You need to understand the sequence in which the prophets came. It does matter, because your earlier statement was that before anyone believed in one, the only people who believed in the oneness of God is the people of the Old Testament. No, it's not.
The first religion that believed in one God started from Judaism.
No, it didn't. That's why I'm correcting you time and time again. But you don't want to understand.
The only religion that started the belief of one God.
No, it's not. It's not for the 10th time. For the 10th time, it's not.
What religion was Abraham?
It was Jews.
No, he wasn't.
Okay, wait. To be Jewish, the word Jew, you have to come from Judea. Okay? Go and check that out. Abraham wasn't from Judea. Judea didn't exist at that time.
What about Adam? Do you think Adam is a Jew? Adam believed in the oneness of God.
So it means you need to learn about your religion, not in a bad way.
Adam came from God. God created Adam. He was the first man.
Where did the story of Adam come from?
From the Old Testament, in your case.
Yeah, okay, that was my point of the conversation.
No.
Was that
The
the
point-
belief of Islam is based on stories from Jews.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. Because you see, shall I tell you how it's not based on the Old Testament? Because you see,
I'm not saying it's factual based. I'm saying parts of what your religion and Christianity is based originally on.
no, I wouldn't say it's based on.
I don't know what
Okay, the correct word to use here is that there are many similarities in the Old Testament and the New Testament, which are actually similar to the stories. I didn't say all. I said there are many similarities in the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Quran. The reason for that is because we believe that God gave the message to Moses, and he gave the message to all the previous prophets and the prophets after Moses, and he gave the message to Jesus, and he gave the message to Muhammad. The source is the same. So if the source is same, obviously you'll have several similarities. However, when we talk about Adam, we do not say that Adam is a Jew. And we do not say that Adam believed in anything other than the oneness of God. Similarly, all the prophets who came after Adam, yes, like Noah, like Abraham, like Isaac, like Ishmael, all these prophets, they believed in the oneness of God. This was way before Judaism even existed.
Okay, but tell me, which religion believed in one God before that?
We call it a religion. We call them the Hanifan. That means they believed in the oneness of God. I wouldn't give it a label because at that time I don't know what labels they used. We are talking about a very long time in history. Okay, but Judaism, you know one thing, the main difference between Judaism, Christianity, and Islam is, you know who? Jesus Christ. Because the Jews reject him completely. Yes, not even as a prophet. I'm talking about the mainstream. I'm talking about the mainstream Jews. Yeah, the mainstream Jews.
Jesus is not holy to the Jews.
Before you both interject, can I at least finish my point? I'm saying the difference between the three religions is this. Jesus Christ is completely rejected either as a prophet, a messenger, or a Messiah by the mainstream Jews. The mainstream Jews, so if you go to the synagogue here and you ask them if Jesus is your prophet, yes, he will say, no, he's not. We reject him. We reject him. Don't take this personally. I'm just telling you what the belief is. You don't have to accept it. The Christians on the other hand, by the way, the Messianic Jews is just another form of Christianity. Yes? Yeah. But at least let me finish the point I'm making. What I'm saying is that the Christians, on the other hand, you see the Jews reject him, the Christians take the other extreme. They raise him to the standard of God, to the level of God, and God himself. And the Muslims, we take the middle ground. We do not completely reject him, nor do we put him to the level of God. We accept him to be one of the mightiest messengers of God. He's born of a virgin, Mary. He's basically a Messiah of God, and he's one of the mightiest messengers of God.
Mormons have introduced it.
Yeah, but we're not about fake Jesus. I'm talking about the real Jesus. Isa alayhi salam. The real Jesus.
You know why they killed him? They killed him because
Why?
he converted to Christianity.
Who converted to Christianity?
Killed
Jesus converted from what to Christianity? Wait. He converted from what to Christianity?
Jesus was born a Jew.
Yes.
And the Jewish people killed him because he converted to Christianity.
What makes you think he converted to Christianity? Honestly, I want to know what part of the Bible tells you that he converted. No. What part of the Bible tells you that he converted to Christianity?
Ask her, what is Christianity?
So basically, the God of Jesus was born a Jew, and then he converted to Christianity.
Ask her, what is Christianity?
That's just more ridiculous.
Hashim.
Okay. By the way, do you have the word Christianity in the Bible? The word Christianity.
Is she Christian?
Do you have the word Christianity in the Bible?
Messiah.
No, I'm not asking Messiah. You see, even the word Christianity is not there.
Look.
This is your religion.
Look, I was raised as a Christian, right?
Yes.
What you're saying is completely out of
Nonsense.
yes. It doesn't make sense.
It says,
You are saying,
are you
Christian?
Christian? Wait, are you Christian?
No, she's confused.
Listen.
No, sorry. Hold on a second. I'm not asking you for that reason. You're questioning. You're questioning.
I believe in one God, so it's
That's
one
fine. I'm not asking you.
So do we.
But do you believe in the Trinity?
Listen.
Do you believe in the Trinity? Yes or no?
What is it saying, Christian?
No. Can I just interject, please? You're the speaker. Can I just?
So you believe in the Trinity or not?
It
Wait.
doesn't make sense because you said they refused Jesus. The Jews refused.
I know. She can ask about our religion.
To convert to
That's okay.
Christianity is called Christianity because
They follow Christ. Yes.
So it doesn't make sense.
This label was given later on.